Okay, so now I want to make sure this guy is the right size. This is supposed to be 1 foot 2, and that's supposed to be 1 foot. So I'm just going to go to image and image size, and it's in inches. So right now it's not very big. It'll resample it, which is fine. But the width, I'll let's go ahead and lock those guys. And the width is 1 foot 2, so that's 14 inches. Right? And then if I get 14 inches, then I get 12.014, which is pretty close. So I'm just going to unlock it and just get rid of that 0.14 and let it scale it, right? And then click OK and just check it again just to make sure image size. And we've got 14 by 12, which is great. So then I'm Control 0, will zoom, and then I can also Alt and kind of back off with that. So that's our size. Now I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'll save it as Pattern Tile Texture, I guess. And then that's a PSD file, right? So it has all the layers in it. And now I'm just going to go to File, Save a Copy. And let's go on my computer and let's save it as a JPEG. And these are the JPEG names that it downloaded with. So I made one already, but I'll just save over it. So I just use the same name, and you can do that by just clicking on it, right? And then adding textures to the end of it. So I'm just going to save that. So that's going to be our basic tile texture, right? And I'll click OK to overrun it. And then I'm going to do a file, and I am going to do, first I have to tell it my JPEG options. Yes, that's fine. File, Save As. And I'm going to save this as Pattern Tile Texture Bump. We could actually do the bump map in here, but I'm just going to do it as a separate file. So I'll save that. And then I'll just do the whole image mode grayscale. And don't merge, and that's fine. And it makes everything grayscale. So there's the original tile. And so what I'm going to do is I have this guy selected now, right? So if I turn it off, it turns that off in the grout. So I'm just going to go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness, Contrast. And I'm going to bring the brightness up on the sky a little bit and the contrast, right? So it's going to make it into kind of a bump map, right? And then click OK. And then I'll also do the same thing with the grout. So if I go to Image, Adjustments, Brightness, Contrast, this is going to maybe pull the contrast down a little bit on the grout and the brightness down a little bit, because that's going to make it go further away, right? It's going to make it look like it's recessed and the other part is coming up, hopefully. And then if I click OK here, I can do a file and save, because I've saved this as my bump PSD. And then I'll go to File, Save a Copy, and I'll browse on my computer and save it as a JPEG and grab this guy, and instead of texture, I'll call it bump, right? So now I'm ready to make my material. So I click Save, click OK. Now I'm ready to make my material. Next thing I'll do is open Revit and make that material.